Your brain is confabulating right now, not lying. It doesn't know it's doing it. It's filling in gaps in your memory and perception with invented details, presented to you as if they were real, with full confidence that they're accurate. This isn't a malfunction. It's what your brain does automatically, constantly, to keep your experience of reality feeling complete and coherent, whether or not it actually is. Confabulation is what happens when your brain encounters a gap, a missing memory, an incomplete perception, a question it can't fully answer, and instead of saying, "I don't know," it generates a plausible answer and presents it as fact, not as a guess, as a memory, as something that actually happened. The term originally came from neurology. Patients with certain kinds of brain damage would produce elaborate, confident, entirely false accounts of recent events with no awareness that anything was wrong. Asked what they did yesterday, they'd describe in detail a day that never happened, not to deceive anyone, but because their brain had generated a coherent account to fill the gap, and they had no access to the fact that it was invented. The dramatic neurological cases are just the visible end of a process that happens in every normal brain. Your memory doesn't record experience like a camera, it reconstructs it every time you access it. And reconstruction requires filling in details that weren't fully encoded the first time. The color of a shirt in a memory, the exact words someone used, whether a specific moment happened before or after another one. Your brain routinely generates these details, presents them to you as retrieved memories, and you experience them as accurate recollections, because from the inside, a confabulated detail and a real one feel identical. There's no internal marker that says this part was invented. Here's where it gets practically significant. Confabulation isn't just about past memories. It can be triggered in real time by questions that imply something happened. In classic experiments, people shown a film of a car accident and then asked, how fast were the cars going when they smashed into each other? Gave higher speed estimates than those asked, how fast were they going when they hit each other? The word smashed implied severity, and their brains generated a memory consistent with that implication. More strikingly, asking, "Did you see the broken headlight?" about a film that contained no broken headlight caused a significant portion of viewers to later report remembering the headlight. The question implied the headlight existed. Their brains filled in the gap with a fabricated memory, presented as a real one. The reason confabulation exists is the same reason most of your brain shortcuts exist. It works, most of the time. A brain that said, "I don't know," every time it encountered a gap would be paralyzed, unable to construct a coherent narrative of the past, unable to make decisions based on incomplete information, unable to function in a world where total recall is impossible. So instead, your brain makes its best guess, presents it as fact, and moves on. The system breaks down visibly only when the gap is large enough, or the fabricated detail consequential enough, that the error becomes apparent. Most of the time, the confabulation is close enough to accurate that it doesn't matter. The problem is that you have no reliable way to tell, from the inside, when it doesn't matter and when it does. So the next time you're completely certain about a detail from your past, the exact words, the specific moment, the precise sequence of events, there's a meaningful chance your brain generated that certainty rather than retrieved it. Not because you're unreliable, because reliability for your brain means producing a complete, confident account of experience, not necessarily an accurate one. The confidence is real. The memory it's attached to might not be. If you want to learn more about this topic, feel free to subscribe.